This is the June 2022 paper 1 question 7a. We've got a claim to evaluate. The claim is that this potato fertilizer will increase the average mass of your crop by at least 15%. And we've got last year's average, so let's do a 15% increase on that one. So to work out my multiplier, I'm going to do 100% plus 15%. That makes 115%. And the decimal multiplier I will divide by 100 and I'll get 1.15. So I'll get last year's average, which is 193 grams, and I will multiply by 1.15 to work out what kind of average we are expecting if we invest in this new fertilizer. Okay, so we are looking at an average of 221.95. I'm going to round that to 222 grams if it's true. And now we're going to evaluate that claim using some actual data from this year's crop. But we don't have a mean yet. So, to help me get a mean, I'm going to use a midpoint for each of these groups. So I need a number that is between 120 and 160, and that is 140. But if you're not sure, what you can do is you can add these two numbers and divide by 2. And then you can get the midpoint that way. So I'm going to add a column here for midpoints. And I'm going to assume that all of the potatoes in this category are roughly 140 grams. Obviously there's going to be some that are smaller and some that are bigger, but I'm going to assume that they're going to kind of average out at that midpoint. Okay, so this next midpoint is 180. This next midpoint is 220. This next midpoint is 260. And this last midpoint, I'm just going to use that formula again. 280 plus 320 divide by 2. That gives me a midpoint of 300. Okay. Now, when you did GCSE, you probably learnt to multiply the frequencies by the midpoints and then divide by the total. And you can do that if you want to, but I'm going to use the stats functions on my calculator. So I'm going to press home and then go in the statistics menu. I have one variable, which is the mass of the potatoes, and for the X column I'm going to use my midpoints here. Press equals to go into the next bit. And then go down and sideways to get into the frequency column. These are my frequencies. Okay. Now I'm going to press AC. Nope, I'm going to press equals, and I'm going to get one variable results, so I'm going to press equals again. This one at the top, X bar, this is a sample mean, and it is 226.46. So the claim was that it would increase by at least 15%, which would make 222. And this is a bit more than that. So the claim said at least this much, and this is more than that, so the claim is supported by the data.